Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Paul and I have been in Cape Town. We've been catching up with the sales and all the news and the Met and everything, and we'll be featuring the Met in your call. We're going to go through all the races, the Group 1s and the Grade 1s, and chat about the day. But before we get into that, we have some very distressing news. I see you in no cups anymore.
No cups. One week we went out of two. Another eighth semi-final we've lost in. 8 in a row we've lost in. And then yesterday against Palace, I only blame one man, Pochettino.
Yeah.
Only man I blame because your best players are out. He takes the next 3 best players and rests them.
And puts them on the bench.
Yeah, where was Alderweireld? Where was Eriksson? Where was the left-back Rose? He didn't even put Eriksson on the bench, and I'm resting him. Get the win, stay on the FA Cup. We're not going to go anywhere against Dortmund. Yeah. We're not good enough for champions. Our season's officially over. Yeah. We're now going to try and cling to top 4 spot. That's the only thing we've got to play for.
Yeah. And
bad decision by Pochettino.
I think that Pochettino trying to make a point that he needs some players. He needs some spending.
To the detriment of the supporters and the fans all over the world.
You know what? That's what managers get like. You know, you saw Mourinho.
Yeah,
he fell on his sword. And I don't know, Pochettino, there's talk about him wanting to go to one of the big sides.
Not him wanting to go. A lot of sides are after him.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be hard-pressed to get rid of Ole Gunnar at Man United because he's 8 in a row. His team are playing beautifully, so he's not under pressure. But I can't see him going anywhere. I say he'll definitely have one season at the new stadium. Yeah. 200-300 million over budget. We can't buy players. Now when the chickens come to roost, when we need them, you play little left-backs who handball them in the box, and Ollie skipped compost from A to B. You know,
he had a lovely time last night.
Yeah, you know, and then they just closed the door on us, and Mr. Flash, Mr.
Imagine
Penalty.
how I feel.
Yeah, you had like 22 wins and 22 unlost games in a row, and now your jukebox has got the jitters at the moment.
Yeah. My jukebox got the jitters.
Your jukebox got the jitters.
Yeah. What really impressed me was South Africa playing cricket.
Did they? I'm pleased. How about South Africa playing sevens?
In the pink day. I mean, you've never seen anything like it. 160 all out. It was a poor show.
Hillcrest Thirds could have got that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hillcrest Thirds.
Hillcrest Thirds. No. A disappointing weekend. But that's football. All
disappointing in the sevens as well.
Yeah, you see, the top four get straight into Olympics, eh?
That's the thing.
And we 4th at the moment.
Oh, we 4th. Did we get from 5th to 4th?
We 4th. Yeah.
And we'll get in the top 4. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
They're not going up.
But
they're not
Fiji they annihilated the United States.
Yeah.
The United States are really playing good sevens rugby. Yeah. With their big man, when he's playing, they're good.
Yeah. And
Ernie Els, 49 years old, up there with the leaders in the Dubai Classic.
Where did he finish?
He finished off the pace, but the Shambo won by about 7. So
what makes him so noticeable? All his clubs are the same length.
Yeah.
His driver's the same length.
And if you see his swing, it's an amazing swing.
It's the same swing with every club.
He's got the Mo Norman swing. That's
the what swing?
Mo Norman.
Mo Norman.
Yeah. Do you not know Mo Norman?
I don't know.
Mo Norman was the best hitter of a golf ball ever.
Mo Norman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just talking about golf, it's very interesting because I caught up with Gary Player at the Sales. It was fun. And he told me that there's an over 70s tournament, that they play off the members' tees. And he says he just collects the winning check every week. He's 83, Gary. Those 70-year-olds can't beat him.
Can't beat him, actually.
He shot 68 the other day.
He's in great nick.
Played with Bass around Milnerton, shot 68. How good you've got to be.
Yeah. No, I had a long chat to him. Lovely man.
Legend, and loved the horses.
Introduced him to all my friends, and they were chuffed to have met him.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to move on, and we're going to have a look at 3 to follow. Right, we're Going to go to the Vaal on Tuesday, and nice to see a lot of these horses from the late Chris Gerber. And this was the start to the week, the Gerber family, in Johnny's name. Johnny's now sort of taken over, and looks like he's going to race quite a few of them. I've heard that there's going to be a dispersal sale. They're going to sell quite a lot of these horses, maybe a Chongweni of Chris's horses, because he did have a lot of horses, and I think it's probably a strain to keep that many horses. But this one that we picked up won a superb race by Mambo in Seattle, and it's named Buys, and it's bred by the farm, Mouton's Hook. You catch up with Benny. Did you see Benny there?
I saw Benny. When I saw him, he was lovely.
Yeah, do a bit of dancing.
No, he wasn't dancing with me, thank goodness. But he was lovely.
Okay, let's go and pick up Buys at the Vaal, over a mile, first time out. Really impressive.
Yeah, here's the source Buys, and you can see where it is. It's a straight mile, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not a straight mile. It's round the bend.
That's what I meant. It's around the bend mile. And here we go. The pace is on. Sea Like Glass gets rolling very quickly, as does Miss Patriot. And
there's the bend.
And Miss Jagger. Sorry, yeah, this is the bend. It's a straight bend. But you can see it in the white and red. It's mainly white. They must have 4 behind it, off the speed. And I remember I liked a horse here called Haria. I thought in the Sheikh Khalifa's colours and the blue cap on the fence, I thought this would have a big chance. But sort of one pace. But there's now only got about 4 behind. You can see it in the white and red, James.
Yes, they got a good clip. Harir's in a perfect place. I finally enough liked it because we picked it up as one to follow.
Yeah.
Ran on extremely well, but showed no type of run. And I think you just got to stick with this type of filly. You'll get the money. She'll be a big price next time.
Yeah, that's right. And watching the race, it ends up you think it's going to go between Sea Like Glass and Miss Jagger. They're the ones taking control of the race. And Raymond Danielson, he rides this for Alec Laird. He hasn't panicked. It's the red cap, edging a little bit closer. And later in the race, he does the right thing. He gives it a clear run.
Yeah, he switches out. He's about 2 off the fence, mid-pack now. And she's starting to run on quite nicely. But nice, big, strong daughter of Mambo in Seattle, as I said, out of a gold mark mare.
Great action.
And, yeah, she can run this filly. She's got lovely action. And that's why we picked her up as a winner, who might end up going a good trip and might be a very nice filly. The way she won this, very impressive.
Very impressive, yeah. Well done to Alec and Raymond Danielson. Bars is the horse. And I thought a horse, as you say, Jim, going to do well over ground.
Funny enough, the 4th horse was in the same colours and also worth having a look at. That ran quite a good race. His name was Factor 50. So keep that in your mind next time you want to play with these horses. We move on to the Vaal on Thursday. And Paul Peter got a lot of nice horses, but he steps them out. They know what they're doing. And this was just caught napping at the death by greenness. But a very nice horse called Chief of State. Good name. Let's go and pick him up at the start.
Yeah, Chief of State strongly supported. Got Lyle Hewitson in the irons, and it jumps well. It knows what to do. Gets a little nudge there, but it's at one stage I think it's about 9 across the track. You can see it in the white cap. It's up there. You know, there's a few of them showing speed: Pearl of Siberia, Pure Wisdom, Pearl Dream, and they're going at a good clip. And our friend Mr. Hewitson is just sitting there waiting. They really fancied this horse, and it runs a very good race, James.
Yeah, it's Costa's colours with a white cap. It's just next door to the orange of Clinton Binder, Dreamstar, and on the outside is the winner. And this is bred by Barton Hall, you know, Ken Tort, Toreador out of a new approach mare. Funny enough, she must be worth a bit of money now.
Yeah, now she's been ridden to tackle the horse in orange, and just starting to get it together is this horse. And Chief of State's going to win. And suddenly on the outside, here comes Eastern Healer.
Yeah, Eastern Healer had a couple of runs and straight him, absolutely brilliant. Gavin Larena, at least. Gavin Larena rode it. Got up on the post to beat Chief of State, but I don't think Chief of State will be long in winning a maiden, certainly over 1,000 metres. Yeah. He looks like he's got speed, he's got everything. We then went to Cape Town and picked up a horse that ran in the Juvenile Sprint. Now, the Juvenile Sprint was a very muddly race because the form showed Vander's Spirit was the right horse. I thought Double Alliance had run much faster than Vander's Spirit and would give her something to do. Neither of them even featured. And the horses that they'd both beaten quite easily beat them all again. So Very muddy
very, but you know, when I looked at the form, James, and I look back, and Brian Riley owned the winner, and I was speaking to Brian, and he was hoping for a good run, and it's a smart horse, this Miss Honey. But if one looked at the first time they read, Van der Spirit had got left 2 lengths, beaten Miss Honey, looked like all over, and Van der Spirit jumps well this time.
Yeah.
Never in the race.
Never in the race.
There's some useful horses, you know, the young horses.
Very interesting. Didn't seem like any excuses, but let's go and pick them up. This horse that we picked up, Vaughan Marshall's, remember it's its first run, and it really ran a very good race, tutorial. He's in the orange and blue colours, and you'll see him in Bavard. Let's pick him up, and he runs on really late and runs on well.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, bear in mind, he's going first run of his life in his Summer Juvenile Stakes listed. And jumps quite well, but there, head in the air and green. Now, the horse Van der Spirit is on its outside, and that jumped well. I thought, well, that's going to be the horse to beat. But the pace is on here, you know. Chilly Winter, Wild Move, Emerald Band, they're off very quickly. Now, they do come back to the field a little. But as James said, the horses that we thought would begin to blow in didn't. And there you can see in the orange and green, I think it's Rakesh Sugalim's colours. This one doesn't know what it's doing, because he's never been allowed to have a breather. He's been chased along all the time, Jim.
Yeah, bred by Aventure. He's Var out of Western Wintermere, beautifully bred. And he's a lovely looking horse. I picked him up in the parade ring. He looked outstanding. As you can see, in the orange colours going nowhere. Van der Spirit sails past him and looks like going to go and get a blow in. Double Alliance is in a third at the moment. That falls in a heap, but he behaved very badly. Probably needs gelding. And you'll see this horse just poking his nose into the picture now and starting to run on, and not given a hard ride. Ran just behind Van der Spirit. I think that he's a nice horse, and certainly a very nice horse to have a look like in the future.
Yeah, Emerald Band looked home. Very fast horse. The Canameas looked home, but Miss Honey came with a rattle for the Basses. Well done to them. And Bernard Fay Derb.
Yeah, and nice for Brian Riley.
Lovely for him, yeah.
Good winner on Met Day. Bernard Fade Herb had ridden a winner already on the day, so he had a very, very good day. But we're going to go and have a look at our new segment, Where Are They Now? And we're going to have a look at Jeff Lloyd. You know where he is. He'll tell us where he is.
Hi guys, this is the Gov. Now been in Australia for the past 11 years. After Sydney and 3 years in Hong Kong, we decided to settle here on the Gold Coast in Queensland. I've won the last 3 Queensland jockey titles, and currently this season leading by 21. I was set to retire last year, but decided to go on just one last year. I really enjoyed myself coming back to ride in July last year. Coming second was my best achievement up till now, and riding and winner on the day was fantastic. It was great to come back and see everyone again.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. This is a great innovation.
Great innovation.
Hats off to you.
Where are they now? People want to know, and there's a good few people we've got lined up that used to be administrators, used to be involved in racing, and people say, where are these people now?
Yeah. Well, Jeff, it's wonderful having him chat to us from the Gold Coast. Hopefully he'll come back for the July for another crack this year.
I think he will.
You know, he's got his sons out there getting ready to be jockeys, and he wanted to take over and manage their careers.
Yeah.
Jaden, I think, is at the academy. And it's just, he's been the most unbelievable ambassador.
We've had such a good rider.
Wonderful ambassador, jockey ambassadors and trainers from South Africa. My goodness, have we set the world alight. Such a good rider, such a nice guy.
Top man.
Yeah, and not scared to spend a bob. He's not. No. Some of those jockeys are tight.
Oh,
but Jeff, we're always happy to buy your pot. Yeah. So Jeff, well, we wish you the very best, and we wish you were still with us. But we're going to go on and have a look at what the plum of the week holds for us.
off the lead. Majestic Mozart is deeper out in the track behind those. Then Provocateur. They come down to the final 400 and One World is still in front. Now Twist of Fate comes to make a race of it in the centre. Chimichurri Run is racing just in behind those, back in third. No more from Silvano's Pride. One World is in front, but he's flat to the boards. Twist of Fate is coming to make a race of it. These two have forged clear. It's One World on the inside. He's staying on gamely. Twist of Fate is trying hard up the outside, but One World has too much class, and he stays on to win it in style. Twist of Fate was back in second. Vardy up behind that third. Skylane, Majestic Mozart, Vikram behind those, then Chimichurri Run. Further back then along the inside to Russian Beat.
Well, not a group race, that CTS race, but my goodness gracious, One World, they lined them up for the race, and you could have got 5-2. Now, remember, this horse had just got beaten in the Group 1 Guineas, okay? How you could go against him. I know Twist of Fate beat him in the Guineas, but he did look like he had a flat run. Yeah. And 5-2 looked like an unbelievable price. Into bid, 5-2.
Yeah, fourth in the Guineas was Cirilio, who'd come and won the race before. Yeah. The form was Frank, yeah?
Yeah, so it really, really was a very, very good run indeed. And as I say, if you didn't have an Interbet account for Met Day, well, you missed out, because you can get these type of prices about horses that you cannot believe. I saw our man there, Gary
Pierre.
Yeah, wearing his shirt like us. Yeah,
good fun. Is he sending the new ones?
No, he's fits into them nicely. Snug, yeah, snug Gary.
Good man, Gary.
He's a good eater, Gary.
Is he a good doer at the
moment? Oh, yeah, no, he's one of the best doers around. He and Raul Barelovitz, but I think Raul eats most of his food. That's the trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a problem. But Interbet account, that's a must. Go out and get one. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Gary Pierre, one of the co-founders and executive directors of Interbet. Interbet are the pioneers of online betting in South Africa, having started way back in the year 2000. Our mission is to continue to lead the pack in providing cutting-edge technology in the online horse racing and sports betting space. Our platform remains unique in the context of being a service provider to B2B and B2P. Our aim is to make the site as user-friendly and entertaining as possible, so it appeals to a wide spectrum of target audiences. We strive to provide as much information as possible and to give our punters the very best odds, so the experience is always interactive and enjoyable.
Well, Magic Millions have had their big sell, but the next big sell for Magic Millions, a good one for us always, Adelaide. We've got to go to Adelaide and see. That's in March.
Yeah.
If it's a very good sale.
Always a good sale.
And for South Africans, perfect. You know, they average about $55,000, which shows you've got to have a big chance of getting a nice horse.
Yeah, you can get a nice horse. I bought some very smart horses out there. I bought a horse who runs in the feature, Sir Frenchie.
Sir Frenchie, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Group 2 winner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I bought him in Adelaide.
Very nice horse.
Yeah, nice horse.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, we got some very interesting news in current affairs, but I think we've got to start with the Pegasus. You know, we've been building up to the Pegasus, and it was a race that firstly they started at $15 million, and now they've divided it into a $9 million race and a $7 million race for the turf horses. And we got the footage of the Pegasus, so let's have a look at what happened. Remember that that the horse that was vying for Champion Horse of the Year, the Horse of the Year in America, was the hot favorite here, but he got blasted. Let's go and have a look.
And they're off in the Pegasus World Cup. Last in, first out, Pattern Recognition has no choice but to use his quick first gear to get over from the 12 post, and he's done exactly that. From the 12 post to the rail, Pattern Recognition is in front. City of Light races from second. Accelerate was away well. He's between horses, racing 3 lengths off the lead, while fourth, as Bravazzo is at the inside third. Followed fifth by Tom's Detente, outside in True Timber. They're followed by Audible and Something Awesome. Then it's the local hopeful Guanavera. On the outside of that is the Mexican hopeful Cococan, third last. Second last is Imperative, and Seeking the Soul is last, but not far away as they race into the Gulfstream backstretch. It's Pattern Recognition through the opening quarter mile in 23-1. He leads by a next. City of Light glued to him while second. Up on the outside and now third, that's Tom's Detente. Accelerates between horses down at the inside in Bravazzo. Then it's a length and a half back to Something Awesome, racing ahead of Guanavera. He's only 5 lengths off the lead today. True Timber is on the far outside. Seeking the Soul is at the rail ahead of Imperative. Then it's Audible, and now last is Kukulkan. Less than half a mile to run in the Pegasus World Cup as they round the far turn. They went 46-4 for the opening half mile. City of Light comes away with the lead. Joel Rosario says it's time to accelerate, and the Breeders' Cup winner is trying to get to the other Breeders' Cup winner with less than 5/16 to go. A driven third is Tom's Detente, then Something Awesome, and here's the matchup. Accelerate on the outside, City of Light toward the rail. Castellano and City of Light have the lead, and they cut the corner and open up. City of Light puts away Accelerate with 1/8 of a mile to go. At the inside and Seeking the Soul, then Bravazzo. But City of Light keeps going, and City of Light will win it. It's City of Light for Javier Castellano, and a romp in the rain. He won by 5. Second is Seeking the Soul. Third is Accelerate, then Bravazzo and Audible, followed by Guanavera, True Timber, Imperative, Tom's Detente, Something Awesome, Cool.
Well, there you go. Accelerate, well beaten, but it shows you to keep a horse on the go the whole year is impossible.
Yeah.
That horse has won 4 Group 1s in 2018. Sure. And then he comes, and this is one dance too far. But City of Light had beaten him already.
Do you know the trainer, Mark McCarthy?
Young guy. Well, he's not actually that young, but he's
younger than us.
He's trained a few winners, knows his way around. It's by Quality Road, this horse.
Yeah.
And Castellano rode it. The Mexican horse that came all the way from Mexico. They flew in Frankie Dettori to ride it. Kulukulukan ran second last, got beaten 15 lengths. They were thrilled because as we said last week, or 2 weeks ago, the Bear speed figures said they would run between 25 and 30 behind.
Yeah.
So he ran above his game. And Accelerate and this horse, City of Light, are now going to Lane's End Farm. They're both going to stud.
Oh, excellent. They're both useful horses. The sloppy track, they go quickly.
Yeah.
The pacemaker stopped a long way out.
Yeah. Well, City of Light is a very interesting horse because he won the dirt, the Breeders' Cup dirt, over a mile. Okay. So he's obviously very at home on the surface, but so is Accelerate. Yeah. But he looked like he'd been properly prepped for this race as well. Yeah. And he had beaten Accelerate before in his career. So he's now 2 from 3 that him and Accelerate.
There was a Pegasus Turf, wasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. The Pegasus Turf was won by a horse called Bricks and Mortar by Giant's Causeway.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Chad Brown again. This guy, Chad Brown, seems to know what he's doing, James.
Yeah, Erad Ortiz rode it. Chad Chumpy Brown, he trained it. The horse that ran second was Magic Wand from O'Brien.
O'Brien. So, he's always got a horse in his races. Our friend Mr. O'Brien, he must have so many top horses. But Magic Wand went out there to take his place. Run second, owned by a few of the local owners.
Well, that was on the turf. Yeah, a couple of we got a local owner involved in that, and it ran a cracking race. You know, $7 million. I think they earned $780,000 for running second, and she's a filly, Magic Wand, so she's by Galileo. Got to be worth a bit of money.
Worth a bit of money.
Yeah, she cost $1.4 million. It might have been Akana.
Okay.
Or Keeneland, one of those sales, but she cost $1.4 million.
So she went up for sale, even though she was from them. Wasn't a full sharing deal or something?
No, I think that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
They bought her back, and our man is involved in there. But it's talking about the Irish, our great friends in Ireland, David and Deanne Nagel.
Yeah, lovely people.
Barrowstown stud. Well, David, I think, met Deanne when he came out here to auction back in the 70s or 80s.
I didn't know that,
Yeah. And they ended up getting into the Irish Hall of Fame, which they deserve. They've had 28 winners of 43 Group or Classics races. You know, that's an unbelievable
that's very good
percentage. And they run a little stud, Barrowstown, and fantastic that they
they've been inducted, eh?
Yeah, into the Hall of Fame, the Irish Hall of Fame, which is absolutely great news. Great news for them. And they always come to the sales, but they didn't come this year.
No,
we haven't seen them. But they're probably in Cape Town.
Yeah.
You know, they always end up in Cape Town. And just talking about the sale in Cape Town, big sale.
Yeah, the Captain L filly topped the sale for $4 million.
Yeah.
Anthony Stroud.
Yeah.
He bought a lovely horse. You know,
nice
obviously.
to see Anthony again.
Yeah, he's out with the boys.
Yeah.
Good to see Tom Goff and some of the international breeders. Amanda Skiff International.
Yeah, a lot of international people with them. We really had a very
Angus Gold.
Angus Gold.
Good to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good international people that came out and bought horses, and it's good to see. And the figures were down, James.
Yeah, the average was down 14%, which you probably expect.
So you could buy on the bottom end.
Oh yeah,
and,
no doubt.
And they didn't top the top end, you know. So there were some smart horses that were out there. There always is. There's some wonderful pedigrees, and well done. I thoroughly enjoyed the sale.
Well, the filly that Anthony Stroud bought is a full sister to William Longsword.
Yes.
And you know, you'd think that $4 million was a pretty fair price.
Pretty fair price. I agree with you.
You know, that's not a lot of money in pounds.
Yeah.
You know, and she's a full sister.
You have no idea who he bought it for.
No, he said one of his long-standing clients. So,
did you see, of course, the Doyles?
Yes.
They were there. He was always sticking his hand. Great man of the game.
Great guy. And I think they bought a few as well.
Peter Doyle's name came up a few times.
Yeah. So, you know, the team was there. It was just to run through it. It was an extremely well run operation.
Three very good auctioneers, and they moved it along. It was good. At one stage, I thought they were going too slowly, but then they picked it up, which was great.
It was a little slow.
Yeah,
you know,
and they picked it up.
You've got today. They used it.
It seems to work.
Cocktail parties that they have beforehand, outstanding, wonderful venue up on the top of the roof.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the whole thing is very, very well run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations to them. And we need to have opposition like that to get the people involved. Right, let's go and have a look at what other news there is.
Yeah. Horse of the Year, Justify?
Justify ended up winning Horse of the Year. And, you know, Accelerate now got beaten, but it's 2019. But then you think, well, you know what?
Did it influence him? Maybe
Triple
not.
Crown winner, how can it not get Horse of the Year?
Yeah,
you know?
that's
and it was
enough.
unanimous. It was pretty fairly easily.
Yeah.
Talk about the Longines best racehorse in the world. Was a split decision, and I've never ever had a tie in this category. Who do you think?
Winks.
Yeah, Winks definitely.
You tell me.
Frankel's son, Cracksman.
Oh, Cracksman, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
Very good. Yeah, two top horses.
Top horses. Fantastic horses. But they won the Longines Best Racehorses in the World award, which is it's a pretty prestigious award to win. I think you get a Longines watch.
They went out, the owners went out to Santa Anita to get an award.
That was the Winx owners. Yeah,
Yes.
That was the Vox Populi.
That's right.
So that was fantastic for them. Douglas White.
Yeah, he's finishing riding and he can start training in a few months.
Yeah, in Hong Kong.
Yeah, good luck to him. You know, he's been a great rider. He's won so many championships and he must have so many friends there to support him.
Well, he's a man steeped in a horse racing pedigree. You know, his father was a great jockey, John White. And, you know, Douglas, well, he's been multiple champion in Hong Kong. He must know everyone. You know, the guy, I think his name's Frankie Lau. He was assistant to Tony Cruz. He's taken our license, done very well.
Yeah.
So Douglas will get a lot of horses there. I'm sure he'll do extremely well.
Yeah, he'll do very well. So
yeah. I want to finish off with a story, okay, which I think you'll love out there. Henry Oliver is a trainer in England, okay, and he got fined £140 by the British Horse Racing Board, BHA. Okay, they fined him £140. Well, everyone is absolutely up in arms about it because apparently he chased his horse to go down to the start or whatever. Okay?
Yes.
And the BHA said that their rules say you're not allowed to give external assistance to a horse going to the start. Okay, it's got to be by one of the handlers or the starter, and no one else is allowed to give it external assistance. Well, Nicky Henderson and Sir Tony McCoy and a bunch of them have come out and they're absolutely incredulous that the trainer of the horse.
So all those guys who help those stragglers get in line in the jump racing and chase them when they don't jump on terms are registered officials. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. I can't work it out.
It
just seems like the
Jockey Club worldwide have got some strange rules.
They love to shoot themselves in the foot.
They've got strange rules.
Even if you've got a rule like that,
take it out.
Forget it.
Take it out.
You're just you're trying to get the horse to the races.
They're going to say we've played by the rules.
The next time you have a rules committee meeting, take it out.
Take it out, yes.
Just say, listen, what was it put there in the first place for? What do you think of it? You know?
So whatever the horse wouldn't go down to start, it wouldn't go down, and someone watching the race jumped under the fence and started shooing it.
Yeah.
What do they do to him? What do they do to him? So go back into your table.
But just imagine if your horse is sticking up at the chute or whatever, and you go out there and give it a lead and chase it on. You're in contravention of a rule, and they fine you £140. Well, I mean £140 like 140 rand here.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is that they can make song and dance about something like that.
Oh, James, I read through the rule book one day. I spent my afternoon reading through it. I was crying with laughter.
The afternoon?
They've got it.
Take you about 40 afternoons.
No, I read through it. You know, I cut through something. I like reading, and I went through it, and I saw some things, and I said, this cannot be a rule.
No, the rule book should actually be concised into about 40 pages. That's all it should be, and it should actually just be about things that concern us. And remember, a lot of these rules were written 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
You know, you can't take a horse down to start with your feet out there. I think they've had to amend that. Jeff Lloyd, Arthur Marcus pretty much stopped to that.
He'd get out.
It's a rule. You've got to canter in front. You've got to canter in front of the grandstand.
Yeah.
You gravel the guy out to shoot, and they go around the back.
Yeah.
You know, they're amending them, and I commend them on that. But some of them, they should reread those rules.
Reread the whole rule book.
Yeah,
okay, well, listen, that's been the current affairs. We'll go into your call, and we'll do the whole Met card for you, and certainly chat about the big races. Right, well, let's talk about the Met intro, the races we're going to show by having a quick chat about the Met itself, the day itself. Crowd, by all accounts, disappointing.
Yeah, it looked disappointing, you know. And
why?
I don't know. It looks like it's very hard to get people to go racing. I don't know what it is. But the teams in place had done their best. They'd got everything sorted out. We were raced from a different venue this time. The food was outstanding, was very well organised, and I was very pleased. I did do a couple of laps around and went up to a couple of the boxes. They were filled with the usual suspects, the owners and racers. And that was, but I think downstairs they didn't have the normal crowds.
Amazing. It was a fantastic day's racing.
Oh, fantastic.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful.
The course was
beautiful
in
horses.
Magnificent condition. I mean,
yeah, it was
absolutely magnificent condition.
You got to compliment that track manager. That track was beautiful.
And the horses, well, what a bunch of horses.
What a beautifully turned out. Beautiful. The guys have done they were presenters on the day who did a great job. Everything was fine. Just people, I don't know, they don't want to get out there anymore and come and watch these fantastic beasts.
Anyway, we started off pretty early in the morning and had a 12-race program, and obviously we had 4 Group 1s on the day. And then the Stayers race, which came after that, is the first race we're going to show. Strathdown looked like the right horse. He beat them all, absolutely perfectly set up for this race. Just seemed to come from too far behind.
Well, Richard Referee, if he looks back on his day, we'll probably think, you know, I heard someone say that in the feature race, Do It Again, didn't want to respond early, couldn't get into the race. But it couldn't be in the same case with Stratton, couldn't have been the same case with Nexus. Nexus was just, he's a proper racehorse, he's just too classy for that bunch. But Stratton just couldn't do it, and unfortunately it was too far back. You'll see in the running of this, the New Turf Carrier Stayers, the Grade 2 race, that this horse, in my book, should have won.
Okay, well, let's go and have a look at them. We picked them up at the 800-metre mark. You'll see him towards the back, Strathdown, in the famous Foster colours, red and gold. And I thought that Justin Snaith, Bernard Fadhope, this was third win on the day. Fabulous for Nick Johnson after the disappointment of Do It Again. But let's go and pick them up at the 800.
A video also starts to creep closer, Woodlands Forest. They being followed towards the inside by Dynasty's Blossom. Strathdown, Gimme One Night is cornering back, one from last, and Pacific Chestnut the last to swing. In the New Turf Carrier Stayers with just on 550 metres left to go. Let It Rain, Cedar Man on the inside. Then comes Elusive Silver. Up the outside, Magnificent 7. Ben Young is also starting to kick. Down the inside, we've got Dynasty's Blossom. Plenty with chances, 300 metres left to go. Cedar Man, Elusive Silver have come forward to pick it up. Dynasty's Blossom, Magnificent 7. Any one of 4, it's Magnificent 7 that puts his head in front. Dynasty's Blossom is trying to catch him on the inside. Magnificent 7. Dynasty's Blossom, Magnificent 7 with his head in front. Magnificent 7 from Dynasty's Blossom. Strathdown, then came Gimme One Night, and behind that came Cedar Man.
Well, this is son of Horse Chestnut, and he's a very nice horse. He's out of a model man mare bred by James Armitage.
He's a good horse.
Very, very nice
well
horse.
Well ridden
indeed.
by Bernard. He gave him the best ground. Great ride by Bernard.
Yeah. 57 and a half, as light as he can ride as well.
Yeah, so it was a very good ride. And as you saw there, Strathdown was eating up the turf late, and just had too much to do. Tried to find running room. Once they start careering towards the outside, especially in this race, it gets a bit tough to get a position.
He looked like he got checked. He went in. He should have probably stayed out, but that's a split decision. Went in and then had to come out again, and just got checked as he came out again too. But probably the unluckiest loser on the day was Magnificent 7. Anyway,
that one.
What?
Strathdown.
Strathdown at least. Yeah. Right, we move on, and the next race we're going to be talking about is obviously, you've got to get my notes out here because we've got them in order.
Cape Flying.
Cape Flying Championship. This is the sprint, and it looked like a huge race. Very, very competitive. It ended up a one-horse race. They absolutely canted in. Let's go and pick them up at the start.
The Betting World Cape Flying Championship field are sent on their way. Trip to Heaven was a bit slow away, so too was Sand and Sea. Rocky Valley towards the outside, Pleased to Meet You is quick. Bold Respect shows speed. Towards the inside, Pacific Trader. Just off them is Quinlan, racing about 3-4 lengths off the leader. Sergeant Hardy, Casimir's towards the inside. Princess Rebel follows them through. Then back to Sir Frenchie. Rebel's Champ's about 5 lengths off the leader now as they head on down into the halfway stage. 500 metres left to go. Bold Respect and Pleased to Meet You in front. Pacific Trader towards the inside. Casimir's only got a length to make up and starting to move up towards the inside. Then comes Rebels Champ. Attenborough's further back in the field. Sergeant Hardy. It's Bold Respect and Casimir to fight it out, but Casimir has hit the front now with 100 to go in the Betting World Cape Flying Championship. It's Casimir. Trip to Heaven is flying home late, but Casimir's in command here, and Casimir's won it. From in second, Bold Respect. Search Party third. Close fourth, Pacific Trader or Trip to Heaven.
Well, the son of Captain Al, he's a very, very good racehorse. And if you looked at his last run, he looked like he probably just needed it. Pacific Trader beat him. But there couldn't be much in them this time, and he absolutely murdered Pacific. He's
improved a hell of a lot since they gelded him. He's really a top sprinter. He beat this field very comfortably.
Very comfortable.
And some good horses chasing him. You know, Bold Respect and his stablemates are not slouches, you know, and so it was a very good win for Richard Faree, Justin Snaith, as well as a slew of owners who know they've got a very good horse here. So a Group 1 win for Casimir. Well done to all of them. And I thought it was Drockenstein, I think, bred this horse.
Yeah, bred by Drockenstein. Captain Al out of a Penta Celebre mare. So he's out of another imported mare. And owned by quite a good bunch of people. Nice, Deanne Nagel, David, I think David or Deanne involved, but probably both of them. And, you know, Paul Shanahan.
Bernard Cantor, you know.
Yeah,
Doyle.
Nagels and the Drew. Fantastic team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good win. And
quickest horse in Cape Town.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Quickest horse in Cape, could be one of the quickest in the country.
He probably, and he came from off them, which was quite interesting. Came from off them and absolutely ran them down.
Yeah, ran them ragged,
what about the rest? Bold Respect, he's shown he's perennially at the top of the handicap.
Very good horse.
Yeah. And Search Party ran third, which is the other Cheryl runner.
Pacific Trader ran well, was in the scrum, and Trip to Heaven came home late as usual.
Yeah.
Good runs by them.
Sand and Sea, I mean, he was tailed off.
Didn't he have a knock?
What?
Didn't he have a throw top, Sand and Sea?
Yeah, but he was tailed off. He missed the break.
He's not himself.
He ran on very, very well at the end to end up getting where he got, because he was just never in the race.
Yeah.
Disappointments. Dutch Phillip was disappointing, but
Rebels Champ
maybe needs more ground. Rebels Champ never got going up the inside.
Yeah.
Tough race.
Tough race, Jim. Yeah.
Okay, we move on to Lafferty's apprentice, ex-apprentice, winning the Cape Derby. Looked at them in the parade ring. Mike de Kock said it was a substandard field.
B division, he called it. B division.
Well, I'm not sure he wasn't right. When you looked at them in the parade ring, there were two horses that stood out. It was Charles and his horse. They looked outstanding.
He didn't come down to Cape Town with a bucket and a spade, he said. He come down to win races. He's got great chirps to Cock. When he talks, you listen.
Because you're going to miss a great chirp if you don't listen. Anyway, he put Diego de Gavea on it. We got a big chance. And Diego de Gavea was Lafferty's shining light for a long time.
My apprentice. Lovely guy. And he's doing well in Gauteng. And this is his first Group 1 winner.
So
fantastic for young Diego. It nearly got blown from when the pacemaker started hanging terribly across in the last furlong. But well done to him, well done to Michael, and of course, very good having Angus Gold there to represent the owners.
Yeah.
So great success for all of them.
Sheikh Hamdan, bred by Arrowfield, brought in Australia, obviously, by Dundeel out of Danasinger mare. So, you know, he bred to go a trip, this horse, and a very nice horse indeed. Very nice looking,
gutsy,
compact, bright bay horse. Typical de Kock horse. He looked absolutely perfect. When Let's Go, he's drawn 15. De Gavea rode a particularly good race on this horse from a bad draw. So let's go and pick him up at the start, pick him up and watch him through the race.
All in line, ready to go. G-Bet's Cape Derby, Gates are back off and racing. Thanksgiving along the inside, Mr. Kick. He lost quite a few lengths. And Knights Templar is very slow in the early stages, and he's tailed off in the early part. On the far side, we've got Sailing Lizard, who's gone up to look for the early lead. Along the inside of that, Helen's Ideal is pushing forward, and it's Helen's Ideal who now wins the battle for the lead. Sailing Lizard's gone up to race in second, Line Editor's third, Santa Clara behind that races in fourth. They followed by Sinatla just in behind that. Seattle Force is on the outside of runners, and he's about 5 lengths off the lead. Ovation Award back towards the inside. Just in behind that, Herodotus would be 7 lengths off. Then they start to stretch out. Thanksgiving after that slow start has made ground along the inside, and he races next. On his outside, At Jab would be 9 lengths off this leader. One covered and hidden from view on their far side looks like Santa Clara. Racing just in behind those along the inside, Perpetual Flame. Further back then, we got Charles, who's now dropped back through the field and races 9, 12, 10 lengths off them. Racing just in behind that, Belgarian is on the far side of runners. He's now making progress and looping runners on the turn, but that's going to cost him a few lengths. Racing just in behind them, we've got Gunhill, who's racing well back in the early stages. Santa Clara is written behind that on the far side, and at the back of the field is Knights Templar. They're about to spin into the stretch now. They have just on 700 metres left to go, and Helen's Ideal is on the lead. Herodotus came wide around them on the outside to challenge, and Sinatla is right there between those two. They being followed back towards the inside by Sailing Lizard in the white cap, who's 3 lengths off the lead. At Jab is towards their outside. Belgarian, meantime, has elected to come right to the outside running rail. He's racing all alone, hard up against the outside rail. Helen's Ideal continues to roll along the inside, has the lead by a couple. Herodotus is in behind that. At Jab is trying to get into it behind those. They followed by Santa Clara, is also trying to get in the race. Helen's Ideal is drifting out under pressure. Towards the outside, At Jab is coming home strongly, and deeper out, Charles is unwinding a run. At Jab has put his head in front. Charles is along the outside. At Jab and Charles, these the two. At Jab goes on to win it. Charles was back in second, tight for third. Herodotus along the inside. Bunker Hunt came flying up behind those. Helen's Ideal stopped late, and in behind them, Santa Clara.
Well, another reason why Australian horses do very well here is that
they've got a great band of
so few arrive.
Yeah, and they're very, very good. And Mike de Kock, 13-1 his horse. Yeah. Young Diego, fantastic for him. What's interesting to see, James, people are quick to say, you spend a lot of money. The runner-up to spend a lot of money on him to buy him, Charles.
Well, he was the top price horse who ever sold it.
That's right.
In South Africa.
Well done, Brett Crawford. I mean, he ran second in the Derby so far. Yeah. And he had won last time, I think, with the blinkers. Yeah. And they took them off and put Arthur Marcus on. Great run by Charles. And is it Herodotus that ran a good race?
Yeah, that ran a fabulous race.
The pacemaker is useful, Jim. The one who got tired and ran across the track. That's useful.
I think that filly will be quite a decent filly. Yeah. Her form looks good. She did run across the track, gave away a lot of ground. She didn't get beaten more than 3 or 4 lengths, so it was pretty useful.
Pretty useful in the Derby.
For a filly in the Derby to have gone made it all. Of the rest of them, well, I didn't see anything that caught my eye. I must say, in the parade ring, there was the Thanksgiving, never in the race, unfortunately, never fired. But you know what? He's been all over. Yeah, go to Joburg, come back, go to Cape Town. Bunker Hunt, he ran a fair race. He's probably quite a nice horse.
Fair race, yeah.
Dynasty. It just didn't look like a Derby that's...
you listen to Michael de Kock when he said it was a beautiful field. We decided to bring this horse into town. Yeah. Produced the goods. Very good win. Well done to all concerned with the winner.
All right, let's go on and see the Mallorca. Now, this was very interesting because it was the contest between the 3-year-olds, front and centre, and Clouds Unfold. We had said last time Clouds Unfold ran, we said she was very, very unlucky. Look for a much better run. And I remembered that, and it made my day, this Clouds Unfold. Lady in Black and Good Snow run. Dance. Well, as it turned out, Clouds Unfold must have been unlucky behind front and centre because she beat her this time. So she turned around probably a 3 lengths
she had won a stakes race in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very
Come
good.
back to a sprint.
I looked at it, and I remember you saying, I was complimenting you on this, because I don't normally compliment you. You said Clouds Unfold was unlucky when it lost to front and centre. I said, no, front and centre. Have its number, it'll beat it again. I thought front and centre was a good thing, getting 5 kilos. good 3-year-old filly. The horses, I think there were 4 or 5 Group 1 winners in this race.
Yeah.
So it looked a very good race, but I was very big on front and centre, and it ran a great race. But I thought Dennis's horse, Lady in Black, ran really well to get that close from having to give weight. And the winner wins a cracking good race.
She's, Lady in Black has really come into herself now.
Well,
just taken a bit of time, She went through that flat spot.
Yes.
But now she's shown she's just as good as Snow Dance, and up to now she probably wasn't as good as Snow Dance.
She takes on all those big fillies of Snates now. Yeah, she's very good.
Yeah, okay. Well, Clouds Unfolds, what a winter. Group 1 winner for him. Bred by Drakenstein, so they will be thrilled and they own it. And Candice Bass Robinson out of a Monjour mare. Candice said, this is a very good filly. Listen to her. This is good. Let's go and watch it and see Aldo de Mayo bring her home on the outside.
And fired away from that 1600 metre mark to a perfect beginning. Rose and Bloom pushes forward early on, but now on the far side it's Snow Dance in the red cap has gone up to look for the lead, and Fiorella very handy along the inside of that. Sylvan on Fire now settles back in that third placing. Good Time Gal in behind that has gone past that to go up and race into that third place, relegating Sylvan on Fire back to fourth. They being followed then by Front and Centre, and she settles about 5 lengths off the lead. Along the inside, a Lady in Black is racing next. Fresnay deep on the outside of runners has gone up to improve her position, and Freedom Charter races just along the inside of that one. Rose and Bloom has dropped back through the field and that races about 9 or 10 lengths off them. Clouds Unfold is a neck away racing up on her outside. Love to Boogie is racing just in behind that, and Miyabi Gold bides her time at the back of the field and a dozen lengths off this leader. 700 metres left to go. They start to take the angle for the home stretch. Snow Dance in the red cap will bring the field for home, and Good Time Gal up on the outside, racing in second. Fiorella back towards their inside, corners in third, Sylvan on Fire in behind that. Meantime, Front and Centre is hooked around runners towards the outside, and she's starting a good-looking run. Racing in behind that, Clouds Unfold is also setting out after the leaders. Fresnay is also trying hard. Snow Dance is in front. Front and Centre now comes forward strongly up on the outside, and Clouds Unfold deeper out in the track is coming on well. Clouds Unfold has come forward to pick it up. Front and Centre along the inside trying to come back for more, but it's Clouds Unfold with the advantage. Front and Centre is rallying gamely, and Lady in Black has taken off down towards the inside, but Clouds Unfold came to the front at the right time to win it. Lady in Black gets up for second. They were then followed by Front and Centre, Fresnay behind that, and Snow Dance. Rose and Bloom further back in running.
Well, fabulous win by Clouds Unfold. Fabulous race, befitting of Grade 1 status, and really what an entree to the Met.
Yes.
Shall we watch a Met?
Yeah.
Let's watch it, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Yeah. Let's go and pick them up at the start of the Met. You know who won it. We'll show you the head-on afterwards, and we'll chat through that. Let's go and see.
Hatpentana steps up. Hatpentana in. They set. They ready. All clear. Racing to a perfect beginning in the Sun Met from the 2,000 metre mark. Hatpentana just a little bit starved the mark. Do It Again is also dropping back shortly after the break, and so too Eyes Wide Open. Oh, Susanna has won the battle for the lead, and she shows the way. Head Honcho is whipping round her on the outside to go and set the pace. Made to Conquer is sitting on the heels of the early speed, and Milton in the orange colours is also on the move on the outside. Kampala Campari, the white cap, sitting on the inside of Double Mint. A length and a half to Tapper North. Then comes Undercover Agent. Legal Eagle is sitting towards the inside. They being followed by Do It Again, who's content to race back. One from last. Hatpentana racing at the end of the line, and with about 1,200 metres left to go. It's Head Honcho that takes them onto the turn out of the back straight and leads the way a length and a half. Milton is now racing a clear second. Then comes Made to Conquer sitting in third. 2 lengths away, we got Oh Susanna, and she's easily 7 off the leader. Double Mint is racing next. Tapper North is 3 deep on the move. Then comes Kampala Campari. Rainbow Bridge is easily a dozen lengths off that leader, sitting on the inside of Undercover Agent. A length and a half to Tapper North. Then comes Legal Eagle. 2 lengths away, Do It Again. 3 lengths away, Hatpentana going to whip them in. They stretched out as they straighten up in the Sun Met. Celebrated with GH Mum, and 550 metres left to go. Head Honcho says, come and catch me if you can. Kicked away and leads by 4 lengths. In second, we've got Oh Susanna. Deeper out, Undercover Agent. do it again in the yellow colours, switched in for a run and starting to charge at the leader. But they're all got to get to head honcho with 200 metres left to go. He's 3 lengths in front. Rainbow Bridge out the back. He's absolutely flying. Head honcho. Rainbow Bridge is cutting him back with each and every stride. Do it again. He's flying. Rainbow Bridge is charging home. Best of all, Rainbow Bridge wins it. Do it again, head honcho. Legal Eagle, undercover agent.
Right, that's what you head on. And watch Richard Fourie on the inside.
Jesus is dumb.
Left-handed stick. Now pulls his right-handed stick. He's still I don't know why he's running over behind that horse.
Company.
And no, but then he changes the stick into the other hand, and the horse runs absolutely fine.
Just next to him, yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah, he was. He just unfortunately couldn't get that much start. Marcus, absolutely brilliant and great.
Brilliant ride.
You know, this was everybody's. Yeah, you can see do it again, getting the right-handed stick. He runs a great race. Do it again. But the head honcho, a very good run, and what a day for Eric Sands and the whole family involved with this horse. It was a tribute to them, and this is a top horse with getting a top ride, James.
Well, I thought it was a magnificent ride by Marcus. It was probably the most sad winner that you'll ever have, because Chris Kerber, the greatest loss we could have had in racing, you know, and for him to win the Met, which would have been all he wished for. Well, that's how life is, and what happens on this earth. And I think we just want to be able to finish by saying, well, it just was a day that we'll remember for the rest of our lives for those reasons, you know. And no better winner, no more deserving winner.
No more deserving winner on the day, and well done to everyone involved with this horse, especially Eric Sands. We know he's a quirky horse, and Arthur Marcus at his best again. Well done to all concerned here.
Yeah, fantastic. Late Chris Kerber, that's a tribute to you and what you put into this business. We're going to be back next week with another program.